Hey, how you doing? I hope all is well. I just wanted to start this video by saying a massive thank you to everyone who commented or liked or shared my last video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it up here, also down in the description below. It really seemed to resonate with a lot of people, which I wasn't expecting at all. And that made me really happy. And for the few days after I posted it, I was kind of riding on a wave of euphoria almost. And that kind of inspired me to make more videos about this subject, which will not only help me and make me accountable, but would hopefully help a load of other perfectionists out there as well. So to that end, I want to open up the conversation to as many people as I can, and you can help me do that by simply hitting the like button on this YouTube video down below. Even if you don't like it, hit it anyway, do me a favour, and hopefully that will persuade the YouTube overlords to recommend this to other people as well, and we can really get a kind of little community going. So I found out that around 30% of the population are affected by perfectionism in some way or another, and that's a lot of people. So even if you're not a perfectionist yourself, you can be guaranteed that you know a load of them. You may not actually know who they are, because us perfectionists don't really like to let on about perfectionism, and certainly not the downsides of it, because we don't like to be perceived as weak or show vulnerability. But apparently vulnerability is not a weakness. I mean, who knew? But this is all new information to me, but apparently that's the case. And we know that there are the good sides of perfectionism, bad sides of perfectionism, but what if I told you that you could keep all the good sides, so the drive, the focus, the high standards, and then get rid of the other side, the self-criticism, the low self-esteem, even the depression that people suffer from their perfectionism? Well, apparently there is a way, and I'll speak about that in more detail in a little bit later on in the video. It's only been like 10 or 11 days since I made the first video, so I'm by no means an expert on this, but I have been trying to do some research. I found myself, thinking quite a lot about it, staring out the window, deep in thought, to the point where probably my neighbours think I'm some kind of weird voyeur or something by now. Hopefully not. And I've also been adding to an ever-growing pile of unread self-help books. And in the past I might have, watched a TED talk and read half a self-help book, and then kind of given up and said, why am I not fixed yet? This is not working. But I realise now that this is a longer term journey, if you like, and I'm prepared for that. I'm committed to that. It takes as long as it takes, but I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. And speaking of TED Talks in a book, I was lucky enough to be connected by a mutual friend to a guy called Julian Reeve, who is a bit of an expert on this and has done a TED Talk and has written a book. So he's obviously a lot further down this road than I am. And I was lucky enough to talk to him. We had a great chat about my issues with it, the issues that he had, and what he does to address them. And it was really interesting. And one of the things I loved most about our chat was that he seemed almost more excited about my journey than I was excited about starting it, which I thought was great. And I'm excited to try and pass on anything that I kind of discover about my own issues and perfectionism in general to everyone who may be watching these videos. So the reason for my optimism, and kind of what I alluded to earlier on in the video, was about the fact that we might be able to keep the good bits of perfectionism and ditch the bad bits. And if we can do that, then the sky's the limit for the achievements of a well-adjusted perfectionist. So I'm really excited to explore this more. Julian puts it far more eloquently than me, backed up by a lot more scientific study than me. So go and check out his TED Talk. I'll link it down below, but don't check it out until you've watched this video to the bitter end. That would be appreciated very much, thank you. So to put this in my very simplistic terms, there are kind of two battling factions within perfectionism overall, and they are adaptive and maladaptive perfectionism. So adaptive perfectionism is the stuff you want, it's all the good stuff, it's the drive, the focus, the high standards. But the maladaptive side is the kind of devil on your shoulder, you know, the bully, the driver of self-criticism, low self-esteem, and even depression. And the idea that Julian talks about is that through self-compassion, which I don't even really know what that is yet, but I'm going to find out, you can kind of let adaptive kind of rise to the fore while pushing maladaptive down out the way. And then you're much more productive, and you know, your creativity goes on fire, and everything is good in the world. So that is the plan, and that's the kind of approach that I'm going to focus on at the moment. There are, you know, other schools of thought as far as perfectionism goes, but I kind of like the idea of this approach because you know, it holds a bit more water for me personally than the accepting good enough attitude to perfectionism. And is it a quick fix? Well, no, it's certainly not. Do I have the answers? No, I don't have any of the answers at the moment. But what I do have is a commitment to find out the answers. Not only for me, but for all the other perfectionists who I hope to encourage to find a similar path to me and join me on this journey. So please spread the word, either by hitting the like button, or you even might want to subscribe to the channel, which would be cool. Either way, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next video. Bye.